I might have just deleted a video that I didn't upload. I don't know. It's alright. I got like, I think I have about 3. At this point, what's today? The 2nd of December, 2024, the first day of Kislev. Happy Rosh Chodesh. Oh my God, I love Rosh Chodesh so much. I have to post this one. God, it's so fucking cold. No, because you know that last video I kind of went off on I was going off on my son's grandfather. Did I post those other videos yet? Did I publish them at least? Because they're sitting on they're on my YouTube channel. I just haven't titled them or give them anything, so they're just sitting there. But I think that's because there's like sensitive material on there. And I'm still deciding if they're going to be public or invite only. I'm still decided. I don't even know what to write. Shep, could you give me a hand with this? War, art of war. Yeah, my war with my ex's family over my son. So last week, God inspired me to not play a prank, because it's definitely not a prank. It's dead ass serious. But to conquer my fear and to give my ex and her family an opportunity to bury the hatchet and to figure out a way to reintegrate my son into my life. I haven't seen him in 6 years. According to his mother, he doesn't want to talk to me. And she fully supports that decision. Supports and endorses. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, man, how
You doing good?
All right?
Yeah.
Good. How you doing?
Me too. Which tells me that her family supports and endorses that decision as well. But it's my mother's birthday in 17 days. And she hasn't heard from my son. She hasn't seen him since 2020. And when they came to visit, they asked that I wasn't here. Or, well, at least his mother did. I mean, I've communicated with her over the past 6 years through Messenger. I don't have her phone number or address. The only reason I even know the general vicinity for where they live is because he gave my email address to his school. Well, he's on the tennis team, which I didn't know. But around Passover, I got an email from the tennis team seeking donations. And I donated. I donated about $250. Plus I got him a hoodie. And I had my mom and my sister contribute money, which then triggered her family to donate, because it's a competition. Once they saw that we had put money in there, they gathered up some people to throw in some bucks. But that was my intention. That was one of my intentions. You see, each kid that's on the team, they had their own page, and it would show how much they had gathered. So, but I saw my sons; he didn't have any money collected. And I suspected that it was not impossible that nobody would contribute money. And I didn't want him to be the one kid who had the least amount. So I figured if I put in $250, then it would get some attention, and it did within about 2 hours. So after I put $250, my mother contributed another $100, and then I checked about an hour later and saw that his other grandmother, had put in 20, and a few of her friends, whose names I recognized, who would normally not have done anything. So when I told my family, when I told my mom and my sister to dig deep, I said to them that my intention was to inflame my ex's family so that they saw it, so that they would see it, and that it would put them into a position where they didn't want to look like assholes. So it worked. It worked beautifully. It worked exactly the way I wanted it to. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. See, there was a few intentions that were behind it. It was one, because I want to support my son's tennis habit, his future tennis career, and also I wanted to see how much control that I have over those people, and it worked. They did exactly what I expected them to do. I mean, they gave the bare minimum, but it's better than nothing. And thanks to my efforts, which I give myself a pat on the back. Thank you, Hashem. Thanks to my efforts, he did almost reach his goal. He was like $20 short. I was a little pissed off because my brother said he was gonna put some money in, but he never did. And had he done it, then the kid would have more than likely surpassed the $800 minimum. I mean, I put it on social media too, but people don't like giving up money. That's a big thing. Which is fine. But that was back in Passover. That was during Passover. That was like I was right before March. It was right before Passover, like maybe like 3 or 4 weeks before Passover. But the point was that it worked. And then on my birthday, this is the 6th birthday, well, I think 7th. No, 6th birthday that I hadn't seen him. So my mother and I, we went out to dinner, and I had some drinks, so I was feeling a little feisty when we got home. And I messaged my ex-wife, tell that kid to get his shit together and to make nicey nice with his daddy and his grandma. Otherwise, I'm gonna get your parents involved. Well, my exact wording was, I'm gonna annoy the shit out of them. Because up until that point, the last time I talked to my ex-mother-in-law was about a week before my divorce. And I had asked her well, at first I said, are we divorced? I don't know. I ask her, but she's not responding to any of my messages. And I'm not really sure what's going on. Are we divorced? Are we not divorced? What's the date if we are? What's the date if we did? I ain't saying nothing. What? Why? I ain't saying nothing. And if you want to see your son again, you better talk to a lawyer. What? Oh, it's just Staten Island. That's where the accent comes from. It's not mine. Hold up. This is me spilling all the tea. So my birthday is in August. It's August 18th. Thanks. Happy birthday. So that was about 4.5 months ago. I haven't heard anything from her. So about a week and a half ago, I got another email from the tennis team looking for contributions via the school store, or at least the tennis team store. Just like sweaters, hoodies, stuff like that. And I felt bad because I don't have any money. Because after that $250 that I donated, that was like the last of my money. back when I did it, that was it. I ran out of money then, and I haven't had money since. I mean, here and there, I had some lady give me like bucks here and there for Torah teachings, and I think that was it. Like $20 here, $30 there, $7 here. It wasn't like, I don't have an income. And the reason I don't have an income is because I rely on God for everything. Hashem, not the creator of the universe. Through the fine art of bitachon, which is a Jewish skill. Skill? Would you call it a skill? Well, I guess you could. Attribute. It's an attribute that all Jews have access to. And bitachon, what it represents is trust between you and God, where God actually builds a trusting relationship with you. It's like a co-creator relationship, where God gives you challenges, leaps of faith that you take, and his promise is, I'll catch you like literally 2 seconds before you hit the ground. Not even 2 seconds. Like literally as you're about to fucking smash your face into the ground, that's when I'll catch you. So it's like really challenging because the obstacles that he throws in our way can seem like incredibly daunting, like impossible. So what ends up happening is once you do one and you see that he's not fucking around, it then encourages you to go, all right, let me take another one. So the ultimate mission of bitachon and bitachon development is absolute reliance on God. and to relinquish all forms of control over your own life, and just to allow him to bring to you everything that you need when you need it, through external experience, but then also through divine inspiration too. It's taught that the only free will that we actually have is you have the free will to make the choice of whether you're going to serve God or rebel against God. That's it. You make the conscious decision, all right, I'm going to go left or I'm going to go right. But even if you make the decision, the execution of the action is out of your control because of external influences and external factors that are beyond your comprehension, that are under his control. Hey, just because I want to make a left today doesn't mean I can. There could be an accident, or maybe the road is closed and now I'm going to have to make a right where I wanted to make a left. You know what I mean? All external factors are attributed to God. Only the internal factor of making that decision to serve or rebel is in your hands. And the more that you serve, the more proficient you become at serving, the more that we find that the things that we need and the people that we need just show up exactly when they're supposed to. It's actually pretty... It's magic. It's God magic. It's Jew magic. It's the mastery of manifestation, because you're not actually doing anything. You're just following along on your own path, right? Because God determines our path for us and what we're here to do, and it's up to us to either choose to follow His way or follow our own way, right? So a week and a half ago, I got that email from the team again, and I don't have any money to contribute the way that I want to. So that's when the Lord, He gave me this really great idea. Well, remember 3 months ago when you promised her that you were going to get her family involved? Or get her parents involved? Yeah, yes I do. All right, here's your opportunity. Are you going to do it or are you going to pass it up? Fuck it, this is scary as fuck. And that's the point, is to overcome the fear of it. So what I did was I messaged my ex, my son's mother, and her father, and I told them I was looking for donations of $150 so that I can buy him 2 specific items. And of course, there was intention behind this, because I don't expect them to comply, because we don't talk. The last time her father messaged me was to tell me I look like an asshole, call me a jerk, and make fun of me. And the last time I talked to her, it was her telling me about how her new man is the man who treats her the way that she deserves to be treated, which is cool, which is fine. I mean, that's not what I was calling for. That's not what I was messaging for. I just want to see how my son is, what's going on with him. Like, hey, whatever your relationship statuses are, I mean, that's cool. Whatever you think of me, that's fine. That's on you. I haven't seen you people in 6 years. I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to. Like, I'm not sure what reality you're living in right now, but you got my son. I haven't seen him in 6 years. My mom hasn't talked to him in 4. So it's like, hey, I'm looking to support his endeavors. Can you help me? And they didn't respond. So the Lord showed me a master plan of how we're going to approach this. And we're integrating the tactics of the art of war, along with the tactics of the art of strategy, as taught by Miyamoto Musashi in the Book of the Five Rings. And we're also incorporating Torah law of engagement. Torah laws of engagement, which teach us how the proper way to go to war is, like what you have to do when you're going to invade a nation, and it's written. It's an obligation that you can't just jump into a war with a nation. You have to give them an opportunity to surrender before we go in and decimate you. So. And it's not that I'm threatening any way. It's more like all I said was, hey, how you guys doing? It's been a while, but I got a message from the team that they need money, so I'd like to get him a couple things, but I need $150, and with your support, you can help me support my son. But that was about a day or two before the third quarter moon. The past third quarter moon in Virgo. So I live on the Jewish calendar, which is a lunar solar calendar, and the weeks are designated via the moon. So the new moon to the first quarter moon to the full moon to the third quarter moon, third quarter moon to the new moon, right? So it's 4 weeks per month. And so the Lord, he gave me a really good strategy, is use the cycles of the moon in accordance with what you know about going to war. And what I want you to do is this first week, you message them requesting a donation. Next week, which is for the new moon, next week for the new moon, which was just 2 days ago. What I want you to do is do a follow-up. But this time, when you follow up, reiterate about the money, the donation money, and inquire about how the boy is enjoying tennis. And then, what I want you to do is ask about your ex-mother-in-law. Ask how she's doing. Why? Because next week on the first quarter moon, you're going to message all of them again, but this time you're going to include the mother-in-law. Now, yesterday's message, or the message I sent on the new moon, I added a couple things. So I asked about how he was enjoying tennis. I reiterated about the donation money, and also asked them to spread the word too. Make sure you spread the word. Let your friends know that I'm collecting. I'm doing a fundraiser to get him some stuff. By the way, how's your wife? How's your mom? I haven't talked to her in a really long time. I didn't mention that the last time I talked to her, she told me that I had to talk to a lawyer if I wanted to see my son again. I didn't mention that. So the plan is now that next week, I'm going to contain myself and not message them again. Now mind you also, I got confirmation on Messenger. It lets you know when the recipient sees the message. So that first message I sent, I did see confirmation that my ex-wife and her father both saw the message. So it's not like they can't say that they didn't see it. So on the new moon, on Saturday night, I sent, well, right at sunset. It wasn't like too late. It was like 4:30 when the sun set. And so 4:30? I thought it was 5:30. Yeah, I'm daylight savings time. So I sent that other message to them. And what I didn't spell out to them is, oh, hey, I'm going to message you again next week to do another follow-up. but I'm going to include your wife because I know, well, she's kind of like the head of the household. She's like the one who wears the pants. So I know that I'm going to annoy the shit out of them just by the fact that I'm even revealing my presence the way that I am. This is like very stressful for them because they have been doing whatever they can to ensure that I don't see my son. And I've been patiently gathering my power and healing my wounds and really coming to grips with my past and learning to let go of shit, you know? And it's like I don't have anything to fight over anymore. Like this isn't a fight. This isn't even a war. This is a one-sided battle and I'm the one swinging the hammer. You know what I mean? So it's not like this is a win or loss, a win or lose situation. I already won. I won last week when I messaged them. The fact that I was able to put them both into a group, it was a group chat. Because typically I would just message her. But then I realized, you know what, maybe this is a good idea. Do the two of them. This way nobody can say, oh, I didn't know about that. Well, no, now you both do. Now you both know. So the message I sent them on Saturday, I got confirmation last night. I checked and I got confirmation that they both saw the message because I also included my phone number. I also included my phone number and asked them to make sure that my son gets my number so that he can call me because, quote, we have a lot to catch up on. For instance, like, where have you been? Like, I don't understand. What's going on with you? Like, how's life going? How's school going? Do you have any, like, post-high school? Because I think, I'm almost positive that next year, this is his junior year. I haven't talked to him I haven't seen him since he was 11 years old. The dude's going to be 18 in August. You know? They moved out like a couple months before he turned 11. So I don't know what's going on in his life. I would like to know. So I did leave them the message to give them my phone number and gave an open invite. You guys can call me too. Like, it's not, if you guys feel like chatting, hey, here's my number. Then, so now the plan is that next week, I have to talk about this, by the way. God's telling me I have to at least make it public knowledge, or at least talk about it and put it in a way that I'm not just conspiring with God, even though technically it's not considered conspiracy. So I did look up the definition for conspiracy, by the way, and there's a reason why. Conspiracy is when two or more people work together to do something illegal, and at least one of them takes action towards advancing that illegal activity. Whether it's accomplished or not is not the case. And the example given is like if two people conspire to kill a third person, right? And one of them actually takes the steps to, right? And then one of the people, they actually call up a hitman, right? Now it's a conspiracy and now it's a crime. And even we can go so far as to say is that let's say one of them is like, all right, well, you know what? I'm going to start studying this motherfucker's schedule to see when the best time is to take them out. Like that's conspiracy. So now, the reason I did that was on my divorce papers, which I didn't see the divorce papers until 5 hours after my divorce because my grandmother fell and broke her hip and was in the hospital. So when I went to go see her, she said to me that she had mail for me. And when I went back to her apartment and opened the mail, the certified mail, it was my divorce papers. And lo and behold, the day that I found them, the day that I opened that letter was the day of the divorce, 5 hours later. So I didn't find out I was divorced till 5 hours after, literally 5 hours after I was divorced. Now, when I was on the phone with my mother-in-law, because I asked her, I was like, well, where's the divorce papers so I can see them? Well, they got sent to your mother's house. They aren't. They weren't, because I live at my mother's house, and I would have known if I got the divorce papers. But when she said it, like, she said it in a way, like, there was a slight inclination that she didn't know what she was talking about, or she was intentionally lying. I don't know. I'm gonna have to default to the fact that she was intentionally lying, only for the fact that she did tell me that if I wanted to see my son again, that I'd have to see a lawyer. So I'm going to presume that it was an intentional, malicious act, because even the fact that she said I ain't saying nothing, that to me, that's malicious intent. That's malicious intent. That means that you want me to miss the date, because if you're not going to tell me, you're not being proactive in making sure that this is a fair transition of power. So. And then even over the course of the following years, when I reached out to my ex, she wasn't in any way, shape, or form willing to compromise with co-parenting or any kind of communication between he and I. And a couple times, she even said, this isn't a negotiation. I'm not negotiating with you. I'm not negotiating. What I'm doing is I'm trying to find out about my son. And it was just like, it's always been troubling to me, and my intuitive understanding was to just let it be. Don't put up a fight. Just let it happen exactly the way that it is. It'll make sense in the future. We're in the future now. So what I did is, like, when I found the letter, what it said was, it showed what the final ruling was, and the final ruling was going to be zero parenting time and alimony for I think 9 years or 6 years or some shit like that. So now the problem here is, on Saturday, after I sent the message, and thank you, Hashem, for making me wait. Thank you, Hashem, for making me wait until after the message was sent. So I got this sense, like, what does zero parenting time actually mean no contact? And apparently, if you Google this, there's an answer. In divorce hearings that include children, no parenting time, zero parenting time does not mean no contact. It's actually the opposite. What it says is that the custodial parent is obligated to ensure that the non-custodial parent is in constant contact with the child, whether the child likes it or not. Because apparently, a minor has absolutely no right to make the decision as to whether or not they want to talk to their non-custodial parent. It's actually in New Jersey, from what I was reading, it's a third-degree crime to endorse a child's decision, to endorse and or encourage a child's decision to not talk to their non-custodial parent. And now here's the problem with that, is when my ex, a few years back, she said to me, he doesn't want to talk to you, and I'm proud of him for making that decision. So now we got a bigger fucking problem, because now we're talking about 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. So we have a buildup of a crime every day that this has been going on. The illegality of the situation is getting stacked on top of itself. This is a cumulative crime, as far as I'm aware, as far as I'm concerned. So what happened was, after I sent the message, including my phone number and the request to give it to him so he can call me, and that's when I started to look into the fine print of zero parenting time. And all that means is I don't get caught. He doesn't live with me. That's it. That's it. There's no, it's, there's two ways it can go. Zero parenting time or zero parenting time, no contact. And no contact means absolutely no contact. That's not what happened. I got zero parenting time. So all that meant is I don't live with him. Like, he doesn't live with me, you know? So that means that over these past years, my ex, his mother, and her family, they have illegally been withholding my son from me and withholding information about his well-being. The only reason I even know what school he goes to is because he gave my email address to the tennis team. Now, after I did my research, what I found out is not only is that a crime that they're committing, it's a third-degree crime that's punishable by five years in prison and a $15,000 or a $14,000 fine. So I don't know if they got the memo. And I also just to be safe, I just did a little bit of a search. Does ignorance of a law, like if you're ignorant of the law, is that an excuse to not receive punishment for breaking that law? And no, that's not an excuse. It's your own fault. Like, if you didn't know, just because you don't know doesn't mean that you're exempt. Okay. So now, from my understanding, when my ex-mother-in-law said that you better talk to a lawyer if you want to see his son again, that tells me that this was a family decision. They all knew. Or at least she and my ex-wife knew what they were doing. And they conspired together to ensure that I would need to talk to a lawyer in order to see my son again. So there we have not only do we have malicious intent, but now we have conspiracy as well to weaponize the court system. Right? Am I wrong here? And if there's any lawyers, please, I would love some pro bono advice on this, because I'm an expert in tort law, not family law. So when I sent that second message, it dawned on me that I just gave them the tools. I just gave them the tools to break the law. Because I don't give a fuck if it was 1 year, 6 years, 20 years. I gave you my phone number to give to the boy. And this isn't the first time either. I did it once before in 2019 as well. I got invited to host a journaling class, a journaling workshop. And I had messaged my ex-wife to let him know, just in case, just so I could say, hey, I invited you. And here's my phone number. And they never responded. For his 12th birthday, I reached out to her about, like, what are you guys doing? I'd like to see him. I don't think that's a good idea, but I'll ask him. And then that was it. I never heard back. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine, about 2 years later, we took a trip up to Salem. I'm sorry. A year later, we took a trip to Maine. The Salem trip was the year after, but he told me that he saw them that year. He said, "Oh yeah, I went bowling with them." Wait, what? Well, you went bowling with them? You hung out with him for his birthday? Wait, what's going on here? So it's just kind of dawned on me. Not that it just dawned on me. I knew what was going on. I just didn't know the extent to the illegality of what it is that they're doing. So now now that her family's involved, now her family, like, if they are, I have to presume that they're under orders from the mother or someone to not contact me, to not respond. Because it seems to be a coordinated effort to avoid having a conversation with me. And I have to wonder why. Do you not want to have a conversation with me because of the fact that you have the potential to get yourself in trouble, or you have the potential of giving me reason to go to the court and to sue the fuck out of you and to get you fucked, proper fucked? Because I don't give a shit if I pay my alimony, which I don't. I don't pay it. It's 5 years. I had a corrections officer call my mom over the summer to ask me who was following up for the family court in Toms River, New Jersey, to follow up to find out why I stopped paying the alimony. And the reason I stopped paying my alimony is because I didn't pay it. I never paid it. My mother paid it. She paid it for 2 months. And then she said, it's on you. And I told her, I said, you shouldn't have even paid those. Because here's the thing, I'm not paying shit until I talk to the boy. And if I have to pay to talk to him, then they're not getting money. So one of the reasons that I don't pay the alimony is because I want the court to come for me. Because I want the court to come to me and, like, demand answers. All right, no problem. Here, I got them all. All you got to do is ask. Why don't you pay your alimony? Because they withhold my son from me. That's why. They're treating a zero parenting time as a no contact, which is illegal. I'm not in contempt of the court. I'm in contempt of my ex-wife's family, my ex-wife and her family, who have been conspiring about this since the day that she moved out. That's why. I'm under no obligation. Not to mention the fact I didn't even know I was divorced until 5 hours after the divorce. No. You can put me in jail if you want. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. I'll be a fucking hero in there. What are you in for? Not paying my alimony. Yeah, I'll be a fucking hail. They'll put a fucking crown on my head. The reason she got the alimony in the first place, she said it was so I don't have to go to jail, so I don't get arrested for not paying the child support, but why did you get a lawyer? Why did we go to court anyway? I had suggested to her over the summer, like maybe 10 months before the divorce went through, she told me that she wanted to go talk to a lawyer. And I said to her, what the hell are you going to talk to a lawyer for? Why don't we just do the divorce online? Make it nice and easy. Like, why are you doing that? It's not like we have anything. We have the condo, which ended up blowing up, by the way. And that's a whole other thing. They let my house blow up. I'm playing victim on that. I'm playing absolute victim on that. I was living at my mother's house. I didn't have a car. I didn't have fucking anything. They lived down the street. Her parents lived down the street from the condo that we owned. Not owned, but we're paying a mortgage on it. The bank owned it. We were tenants of the bank. So that winter I got a letter in the mail January 27th, 2019, that my house blew up. The house didn't blow up, but one of the water pipes burst because nobody turned the water off. You live down the street. Why the fuck didn't you turn the water off? Did nobody think about that? Or was this another malicious thing? Fuck it. Fuck him. He'll get, because you know what? And this is funny. Because the divorce papers didn't know where my mom's address was. The divorce papers went to my grandmother, who I hadn't talked to in months. The divorce papers went to my grandmother's, but the but the condo association just happened to know exactly where to tell their lawyers to send the fucking the summons for to sue me for $50,000 or like $100,000, some fucking crazy number, $130,000 for the damages for negligence, for gross negligence, because we didn't have homeowners insurance. When we got the condo, her parents suggested that we after we signed the mortgage, we found out that we needed to have homeowners insurance in order to have a condo. I'm not paying another fucking bill. Sorry. That's not me. But her parents suggested that we put their insurance policy number on the documentation for. So yeah, I'm guilty of insurance fraud. Well, that's not really insurance fraud, but lying. Well, I guess it could be insurance fraud, right? Because I fraudulently signed documentation using someone else's insurance policy, but I got their permission to do it. Well, it's not that I got their permission. They planted the seed. All right, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I just want to move into my house. That's it. And I don't feel like having another fucking bill. I work too much and don't make enough money. Like, I'm already paying like $300 a month in fucking insurance for a fucking shitty car. It's basic liability insurance, $300 fucking dollars because I had points. You out of your fucking mind? That fucking car, the car was like fucking. Yeah, so the law firm that the condo association hired, they knew where my mother's house was. Now, luckily there was not luckily, there's no luck. There's only a Shem. There's only Mazel. As the Lord would have it, the day that my father-in-law took us to go sign the mortgage, I was high on cocaine and drinking. So I was out of my fucking mind. So that actually negates that contract. But apparently when I signed it, I signed the wrong name. Either that or I put the right name and the mortgage people, they put the wrong name. They put the wrong name. They misspelled my name. So when the lawyer came for me, they had an error in the spelling of my name. So I told them, like, that's not me. I'm Derek Pignataro, not Derek Pignatoro. And like a month or two later, I got another letter from the lawyer with an additional $50,000 tacked onto the bill. But this time it was addressed to Derek Pignataro, Derek Pignatoro, aka Derek Pignataro, and and that's when I knew I didn't have to take these people seriously. And I'm like, that's not me, dude. You're looking for Derek Pignataro. That's me. But on your paperwork, you got Derek Pignatoro. That's not me, aka Derek Pignataro. My name is not an alias. So you're suing the wrong person. And I guess they couldn't go back. Not my problem. But now here's the problem. Here's my problem with that is like, how did they know where my mom lived? And why didn't the divorce papers know where my mom lived? And I took care of the insurance thing. I wrote a letter to the court. And I haven't heard anything from them in years. So that's squashed. And I'm saying that, like, it's squashed. But what I do want to know, and I would love to know from my ex-father-in-law, like, why didn't anyone go and turn the water off? I didn't think about it because that's something that like my dad or you would have done in the past. That's something that you and my father have done in the past. That's not something I would have done. I don't do those things. I don't know about that stuff. I'm not a good homeowner. Why didn't anybody think to fucking get the heat turned on at least? Like I don't understand. Like what the fuck? I have to assume that was intentional. Fuck it. Let it blow up. So when I sent the message just the other day and gave them my phone number to give to my son, just my ex-wife and her father. And again, I'm including him and her. This way they can't. This way it's not a secret. You know. This way she can't like hide the fact that I've been talking to her on and off for the past 6 years. This way everybody's involved. So it wasn't until after I hit the send button that I found out that it's possible that they're breaking the law by not allowing me to talk to my son and not encouraging him to talk to me. And keeping him away from my mother as well. So I gave them the tools to break the law. It's only, now mind you, it's only been 2 days. I'm not expecting them to get back to me. But last night I did check my messenger and it confirmed that both her and her father both saw the message. So it's not that they didn't see it. And I have to presume, because they do work together, she works for him, so they are talking about it. And I'm assuming that my ex-mother-in-law probably knows as well, unless they're hiding it from her. And just in case they are hiding it from her, the next phase of the plan is that when I do my follow-up next week, I'm going to include her. I'm going to start a new messenger group that's my ex-wife, her father, and her mother. And for that message, I'm going to reiterate my number for the boy, but also give my mother's phone number and remind them, listen, Richie, your birthday and you and my mom have the same birthday. You and my mom have the same birthday. So make sure that he calls her. Thank you. By the way, how's your other daughter and your other son-in-law? How are they doing? Other son-in-law. And your son-in-law, how are they doing? So, and the reason for that now is that we have all three of them who are going to see this message, and potentially, more than likely, all three of them are going to continue to ignore it. Presumably, we can assume that they are talking about it and going, don't say a goddamn thing. Don't fucking talk to him. Don't give in to him. Because that's what he wants. No, what I want is for you not to talk. What I want for you to do is exactly what you're doing. You are doing exactly what I want you to do. Because I want to prove to myself, without a shadow of a doubt, that you're doing something illegal. And then I'm going to leave it up to God on to how to proceed. So now, that's next week. That's for the full moon. Because our strategy is to use the lunar cycles. Because I am a witch. I'm a Jew witch. I do study witchcraft, not just Torah. Like, so I'm well rounded in my spiritual practices. So now in the third quarter moon, that's the first quarter moon, and then on the full moon, the plan is to do another follow-up, but now include my ex-wife, her father, her mother, and her sister and brother-in-law. Reiterating the same thing. Hey, I'm doing a fundraiser to try to collect $150 to get my son some things from the store, support his tennis team. And as a reminder, here's my mother's phone number, here's my phone number. make sure he calls my mother and calls me as well. And to let all your friends and extended family know about my fundraiser, just in case they want to help out. Because I do expect them to spread the word and laugh and make fun and say terrible things about me. But on the other hand, I'm also expecting them not to respond. You know what I mean? So in that message, I'm also going to suggest that we have a get-together for Christmas. This way I could see him, I could see my goddaughter, and potentially see my godwife, the godmother of my goddaughter, for Christmas and Hanukkah, because I am Jewish, and the first day of Hanukkah falls on the night of Christmas, which I think would be really fun. So again, I'm not expecting them to comply, but that's okay. So now on the third quarter moon, in Libra, that's going to fall on around December 22nd. That's when I'm going to do another follow-up with the entire family, just one last time, just to kind of reiterate the fundraiser, presuming they'll probably have missed my mother's birthday. But again, give my phone number and all that other stuff. I just follow up with the Christmas plans, Christmas and Hanukkah plans. Because they need to know I'm Jewish. Why? Because just in case. They might not like Jews. And if they are doing something illegal, hey, fuck it. Hey, Your Honor, I can't help that maybe this might have to do with the fact that that because I'm a witch and because I'm Jewish, that this might be their problem. So fuck it, we'll throw some anti-Semitism in there as well. Because it's not a secret. I told my ex-wife last year that I found out that I was Jewish. And they know I've been studying the mystical arts, esoteric arts, since before we separated. So none of this is really a secret. You know? My spiritual practices have never been a secret. I'm very open about what I do and how I live my life. They don't approve, though. So, and that would be a problem, because just because you don't approve of the way that I live my life, that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? So now the issue is that in Torah we're obligated. Like if you see someone transgressing, right? So in Torah it says that if you see someone transgressing the law, it's your obligation to let them know, just in case. Just so they're aware, because if you know that someone is breaking the law, and you just let it happen, and you don't put in the effort to be like, hey, listen, I just want to let you know that what you're doing is bad. Part of the guilt falls on you. So I'm thinking that on the next new moon, on the Capricorn new moon, is where I just let them know, hey, listen, this past 4 weeks, I've just been checking. I've been just testing the waters with you guys to see. I did some research and found out that what you're doing may possibly be illegal. And over the past 4 weeks, you have broken the law. You have demonstrated that you are in fact breaking the law. So it might be wise for you guys to talk to a lawyer. And then that's just a preliminary, just off the top of my head type of thing. I was taking screenshots of all the searching that I did, all the research that I did, just in case. This way you have it, and if you do feel that it's wise for you to talk to a lawyer, which I do think it is, I would advise that you can at least tell the lawyer what you've been doing, how you've been breaking the law. Or at least confirm with the lawyer to say, hey, listen, Mr. Lawyer, we've been intentionally keeping this man away from his child, or keeping this child away from this man and his family. Is that illegal? Can we get in trouble for that? Like, what can he do? Oh, well, he can take all your shit. Oh, he can? All right, well, that's bad. All right, good. Because my thought's this. If it turns out that you guys are breaking the law, I'm seeking the maximum punishment. And not just to be a dick. Not to be a dick, but to set a precedent. Because I know I'm not the only person in the world. I'm not the only man and or woman who has had something like this happen to them. And if it means making an example, so be it. So one of the other things in Torah is show no pity. If it says, if your brother, the son of your mother, or your son, or your wife who you hold to your bosom, if any of them ever come to you in secret to get you to break the law, to worship any other foreign gods or what have you, it's your obligation to take their life on the spot. Show them no pity. And I know that's a little bit extreme, but the philosophy behind it is that examples need to be made out of people. Even if they are people that you love and cherish, you have to be willing to put God first. And so it is. So that's why if and when this does turn into a legal situation, that I'm going to seek the maximum punishment available by the law, and no less, no more than that. I don't want to embarrass them. I don't want to degrade them, because that's another law in Torah is if two men are having a dispute and they have to go to the law to resolve it, it is against the rules. It's against the law for the magistrates to give more punishment, give more than the maximum punishment. Meaning, the guilty man is sentenced to 40 lashings, which is the maximum. You cannot give more than 40 lashings. Anything more than 40 lashings is degrading to that person and violates Torah law. But at the same time, do not get in the way. Do not muzzle the ox that's threshing. Meaning, the executioner, don't get in his way. You know what I mean? That's Deuteronomy 25, by the way. So what I'm pretty sure is going on is like I got a serious case building up against my ex-family. My family, they are my family. I do love them. You know, like I had a child with you. Our blood is mixed in that boy. But if and when I do find out, if and when I do prove that you're doing something illegal, the consequences are going to be so severe that my intention is to make this a national thing where family law needs to be reconsidered. Because if this could happen to me, then it happened to somebody else. And if it happened to somebody else and me, it's going to continue to happen until examples are made. I might even look into invocation of the 13th Amendment, where slavery is allowed. The United States government, through the 13th Amendment, grants itself the power to enslave people as a punishment for crime, which coincides with Torah law. Torah law says the same thing, is that slavery can be used as a form of punishment, and so does the United States Constitution. But it doesn't really lay out the law. I mean, I know that's crazy, wild, fucking cuckoo talk, but hey, you know what? You know what? Fuck it. Let's see what happens. Let's see how far I can push it. Because, again, like I said, people need to fear breaking the law. They need to look at transgressors of the law and go, thank God I'm not that motherfucker. Holy shit. And that's kind of the way that I'm looking at it, you know? I mean, it's extreme. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's really not that extreme at all. Maybe it's the complete opposite of extreme. Maybe I'm not thinking about it extreme enough. Because if this has been going on for 6 years, let's also take that into consideration, you know? If this has been going on for 6 years, a 5.5, I'm sorry, since the divorce. No, 6 years since we separated. And this could all stem back to the time I called her a junkie, because she tried to encourage me to punch her in the face. Because I got in her face because I was pissed off. She pushed me, like physically pushed me. And I got up right up in her face. And I felt my fist balling up. And she said, "Were you gonna hit me? Hit me." I don't know if she called me a pussy or not, but I know that she said hit me. And I wouldn't do it. And instead I called her a junkie whore. Go back to your mother's house and go fucking OD, you bitch. You fucking junkie whore. Because my son was standing right behind her. He was fucking crying his eyes out over what the fuck was going on. She had gotten into a fight with my roommate. This lady I was trying to rent my condo out to somebody. And I had her and her kids move in. This way they can get settled and start making money so they can start paying me for living there. And the day they moved in, my ex-wife just showed up and they got into an argument. And I wasn't getting involved in it. I just continued doing what I was doing, which was cleaning up my son's room, which had fucking garbage and food. The kid hadn't lived in his room in over a month. Why am I finding garbage and food? A bag of chips spilled all over the floor under the bed. How the fuck did that get there?